Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Q&A. I'm so excited to just share this space with you, and thank you all so much for your participation in the Big Vision Envision. What an incredible event. I do want to let you know that all of the videos are still available. And in the description, I have a opt-in. If you miss any of the videos, we still have that all available for you for a limited time. So please be sure and check that out and catch up on that if you need to. I really wanted to take time today to thank you all for the amazing participation, all of your sharing, and just the incredible feedback that we got from all of you. It was profound, and you guys had some really amazing experiences, so we're excited about that. If you are here and you are live and this is your first time catching a live, go ahead and let me know in the chats. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you have been here before, I'm so excited to welcome you again. So please go ahead and put a where you are tuning in from. And if you are listening to the replay, please go ahead and type in hashtag BVE, Big Vision Envision, so that we know that you're listening to the replay. And I'd love to find out what types you are that are here live. So projectors, manifestors, generators, go ahead and type in the chat which type you are so we know who is here. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm so honored to have you here live. What's wrong?
Can't see you.
Oh, okay, there's people jumping on. So it looks like everybody can kind of see me. So we're still just sharing and getting all the logistics handled. So go ahead and say hi in the chat. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Tara, Cynthia, Lucille, Glenn, welcome. We're so excited to have you and to be here live. Okay. Don't worry. Hey, Annette. Welcome, everybody. Don't worry if you don't know certain things. We're going to do a Q&A today. And then, of course, those of you who are joining us for the certification program, I'm going to share everything with you and go into so much more depth. So don't worry if you have questions that don't get answered today. We're going to do the best we can. And I am going to make sure that when you guys join in, we are going to seriously start from the beginning, go deep in, and really expose all of these amazing things. It's going to be just so beyond fun. So welcome, everybody. Hi, hello, everybody. Hello, Norma Jean. Hello, Estelle. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, so let me start out by just thanking you once again. Truly, truly honored to have you guys in this Big Vision Envision experience. Some of you have let me know that you still need to catch up on the videos. They will be available probably for another week. If you don't know where those are, they are in the Facebook group in the featured area. So this is the Spiritualized Entrepreneurs Awakening to Their Next Level Facebook group in the featured area. All of the recordings are there. If you opt in, you will also get the recording videos in the autoresponder. So again, your participation blew us away. We got so much feedback and so many comments, and it was very powerful. And many of you are still saying you're having ahas over the material, which we are blessed and so grateful. For those of you who are new, and there are a few of you that are still new and catching up, that are new to our work, my name is Raquel Reyna. I'm here with my partner, Davidian Lion. I'm a splenic projector. He's emotional generator. And our lives really powerfully changed when we embodied the human design experiment. And it was absolutely a life and a game changer for me. I cannot express to you the level of layers that have happened on this journey, layer upon layer upon layer. And so what I want to let you guys know is that these layers happen progressively, whether you want it or not. So in other words, if you study everything there is to study right now, and I give you a book and I say, okay, read this week, and you get all of the logical information, it's still going to take the exact same step-by-step process to unravel the information in your psyche and in your beingness. It takes time. It takes time. So, I want to share with you a little bit about that process, about the deconditioning process, because this is the question, the main question we're going to be talking today. And then, of course, I'm going to get some more Q&As just to kind of tie up and complete the Big Vision Envision that you guys just experienced, because I did get a lot of questions and I want to make sure that we have sort of this completion with the material before we move on. So tomorrow, for those of you who are joining in the creative coaching certification, which I see a lot of you here that are joining in, which is really frigging awesome and exciting. Tomorrow is the last bonus class before we begin the course. And the last bonus class is going to be on the 2027 information, which is the shifting of the wheel. And I think it's a really powerful foundational piece of information that many people don't really understand. So I'm excited about that. So today, I want to share with you guys this process that happens when you take on this human design experiment. So for many of you who have been through the Big Vision Envision, what happened was you may have gotten this little spark of seeing your chart and looking at it and thinking, there's something here. You don't know what it is yet, right? You're like, oh, what are all these numbers? What does this all mean? And yet something inspired you or spoke to you. And this is exactly what happened to me. I knew something was there. I didn't quite get it. It was overwhelming. There's a lot of questions, but I knew something was there for me. And so I kind of looked a little bit deeper into the process. And I heard this over and over again, as you guys have heard me say, it takes 7 years. And in my mind, I thought, that's just, there's no way, because I've already, been in really deep spiritual process. I've got my master's in spiritual psychology, which is a very profound processing experience where you're unraveling your history, you're doing all types of inner child work, going through trauma, wounding, all of this stuff, right? And I had been doing that for quite a long time before I came to human design. And I had also been working with a spiritual teacher. I've been working with shamans. I've been working with a spiritual therapist. A lot, I'm an investigator. Any line ones out there? And if you don't know, then don't worry, because I'm going to tell you guys everything you need to know. Well, somebody wrote, you're going to answer every question. And just to manage the expectations, we're not going to get through all of the questions, but I'm going to lay out the story for you. So I am a type that's an investigator, and I like to go deep and deep and investigate. So I have investigated a lot of spiritual teachings. I cannot tell you how big our library is of self-help, spiritual development, every different type of book that there is. I've done high-end coaching, courses galore, and I freaking love all of them. But why, oh, why was I having a disconnect in my life and things weren't quite working out for me? And that was a question that plagued me. And when I came across the human design piece, boom, it was so frigging outrageous and profound. It just felt like it put everything together. And it's very different. You know, I'd heard a lot of different spiritual teachings that have a similar theme. This is so different when you unravel it. It's so different. And then I would see my spiritual teachers in different light because I understood their circuitry and I understood where they were putting pressure on me. And I understood what I needed to take from them and what didn't work for me. And I didn't understand that before. So if I had a spiritual teacher that was clearly more evolved than me, I took on everything they told me. And oftentimes that teaching was not correct for my type. So wouldn't it be great to know that what's going to be correct for you and look at all of the information out there in the world and absorb, like, this is for me and that isn't. This is what I need. I don't need that, because there's a lot of information and there's a force of homogenization that's going on the planet all the time, meaning we feel the need to fit in. And we are conditioned to be homogenized like everybody else. And so we just can't help it. There's nothing wrong with that happened. It's just that process keeps us from fully flowering into our truth. And sometimes when you take this process on, yes, people fall away. Yes, sometimes your life falls apart. Yes, you know, for me, I stopped showing up to my brick and mortar business I own. I left corporate America. I mean, everything began to unravel. And there's a lot of fear that comes with that. Okay. But in human design, what happens is you realize that all of the not self, all of those life situations that aren't represented, that do not represent our truth, they're not meant to be with us. And so they unravel, but the universe is saying, we got you. We got you. We got your back. Okay. There's a process of unraveling that may ignite fear in the mind, but you have a space of calm within where you know deep down that it's your highest self moving and directing you to live as your truth. And when you live as your truth, life is just much easier. And, you know, everything falls into place and you begin to feel more like yourself in your day to day. And so for a projector, what that means is, yeah, you work less. You are seen for your genius. And you do not have to hustle in the same way. For generators and manifesting generators, it means you will do work, but you won't be doing work that you hate anymore. You won't be feeling like, oh, this is so frustrating. I don't want to be at this job or this place or this house or this whatever. And it doesn't happen overnight. Okay. We all want a quick fix. It just doesn't happen overnight, but it does unravel in a very amazing way. It does happen. And the journey is so fun and profound too. It really, truly is. It really, really, truly is fun and profound. And so this, my friends, is what I'm sharing with you today, is that step-by-step process that happens as you begin this frigging power journey. And now, most of you, so let me just get a sense of how many of you are caught up on the Big Vision Envision. How many of you have listened to all the videos? Just go ahead and put a yes in the comment. If you still need to catch up, put a C, so we know who's still catching up. Okay. Do you need to catch up on any of those videos? I need to take a sip of tea. Oh my God. Okay. Some of you need to catch up a little bit. No worries. Some of you are still working through some of those, and you guys are still catching up. Okay, good. But you're here. So what that did really is just plant a seed to begin to experiment with your strategy and your inner authority. That's it. Okay. It just planted the seed. And then what starts to happen is the universe brings experiences to you. And those experiences will show you, yes, I need to experiment with this a little bit more. So what'll happen is you accidentally waited, and all of a sudden something worked out for you. As a manifester, you'll get this creative force that you want to manifest something, and you realize that you impacted people and you didn't inform, right? And for our reflectors, you realize that you get kind of a bad taste in your mouth being in the wrong place. You kind of just know something's not right. And you kind of have these examples happen that will affirm, wow, I need to try this experiment. And then each day you'll step a little bit more towards your strategy and your inner authority. Then life starts to unfold in positive ways, and you surrender just a little bit more to the journey. I've never been so thoroughly convinced and committed to a process as this one. And it really, I mean, all of my clients, every person who I take through this journey has profound life changes and experiences. So I want to share with you guys what this means to begin this journey. Okay, because this was the biggest question that came up. So if you guys have questions, you can type them in the chat as we go, and I'm going to come back around and start answering the specific questions. But let me start with this basic foundation. When you are born, you immediately begin to take on the homogenization of the people around you, and you long to fit in. This is just what happens. We want to fit in. It just, look at all the schools, the kids, that's what they're trying to do. They don't like to be left out. So we are immediately taking on whatever the belief systems, the religion, the views, the education of everyone around us. We absorb it, we amplify it. And then right out the gate, we don't know who we are. Okay. We just don't understand the circuitry and the truth of who we are. Now, of course, there are plenty of systems that people have figured out intuitively that work for them. So, for example, I have one client who her view happens to be possibility, and she is really into access bars. And so that access bars that she loves is perfect for her particular view of possibility. My view is personal. Okay. So that doesn't quite work for me in the same way. But she found a system that works for her and has helped her, being a generator, emotional, doing this view, and she stumbled upon it and it worked for her. But why doesn't it work the same for everybody else? And that to me is why this is so interesting, because yes, I do not ever want to insult any teaching, Reiki, any spiritual work, because they've all helped me in many, many ways. And I believe in all of it, you know, and you guys are all spiritual practitioners and mediums and psychics, and all this stuff is real. Okay. But what we learn in human design is what will work for some people and not for everyone, particularly if you are a teacher or a coach or anything like this, or even just a parent, right? Or even just for your own life, you want to know, oh, I saw this quote. Oh, this is great for the line 3, but not for the line 5. I mean, that's literally how specific you can get. Okay. So now what happens with human design is you start seeing that, wow, I've learned a lot of tools, or we see all of these tools, but there's still different places in my life that are not working out for me. Why? Okay. And that's because of all of the conditioning that was taken on when you were growing up and going through life, and the things that you took on that aren't true for you. Okay. You take them on, and then they amplify and they become big kind of balloon versions of ourselves that take on a life of their own. And they start acting out and moving us in all kinds of weird directions. Okay. Now, what most spiritual teachers and teachings talk about is the chakra system. And the chakra system are energy centers. If you guys listen to Joe Dispenza, or another person who talks about this a lot is Carolyn Mace, or Meese. I love her work, by the way. And they go very deeply into the chakras. Okay, Bijou. Bijou always has to make at least one appearance on every video. And so the chakras, we know that they are real energy centers, and Joe Dispenza, he calls them centers, and he talks a lot about this life force energy and moving up and out of the centers through, he brings in the brainwave technology and shows when we align our brainwaves through each center that we begin to awaken a wholeness in our vehicle, and we move into places of healing and very high abilities to manifest. And so human design is saying the exact same thing, but a little bit more detailed. So it's showing you through each center exactly what you've absorbed, exactly how to unravel it, and exactly why you've been stuck. Super profound. Okay. Now, why they say it takes 7 years is because our bodies literally completely rejuvenate themselves within a 7-year period. So physically, cellularly, all of the bones in the body, they go through this shift in 7 years and rebuilds itself. So when you implement a new way of being and consciousness, it changes your physical vehicle. Now, each one of those centers, it correlates to a physical part of the body. The head is obvious, the ajna is obvious, and then the will actually correlates to the stomach. So each one of these correlates to physical aspects of the body. And what the deconditioning process does is it goes through each one of the centers. Somebody said, are my hands doing light language? I love that comment, by the way, because I do feel that way. I feel that as I'm speaking and doing the meditations and the igniting the energy, it's like weaving. And the interesting thing is, my past life, I was a dance artist, and we did so much with our hands and communicating in that way. Anyways, that's a total side note, but I love that comment someone made. So we're going to be unraveling each and every one of those centers. Okay. And for those of you who are jumping into this new course, which we're actually starting next week. So there actually is time to join. If some of you are still on the fence, you're not quite sure, we have one more week until we're going to start. The bonuses are gone. There is one more bonus tomorrow. So some of you who are still curious, I think I'm going to let in 2 more people. So that journey is going to include this theta healing vibrational frequency that we're going to do through each center. And what happens is, you guys, and I'm not joking, through each one of those centers, you unravel every place where it doesn't settle in with the truth of your being. Okay, so for example, okay, I'm going to take the undefined sacral, which is manifestors, reflectors, and projectors. Okay, so we're going to divide up into the generators, the manifesting generators, the projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. So anybody who is a projector, reflector, or manifestor, put a P, M, or R in the chat. I think we might have one reflector, but put a P, an R, an M in the chat. And then generators, I'm going to get to you in a minute. I want to use this example, okay? Oh, good, we have some more projectors. Hi, yay, 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 yay. Okay, we have them all. PMP. Okay, good. All right, so what this means is that wherever you've absorbed in this sacral, wherever you've absorbed that energy, okay, you feel this pressure to work harder, to work faster, to take on the energy of the people around you. And so what the thinking around that may be, you have to work hard to make money, you need to work faster than anyone else, or you might have a general feeling of not being able to keep up. You know, all of those things are all centered in one area. And so, and it's going to be different for each person. And as a matter of fact, when I first did this experiment, it didn't really make sense to me. I thought, no, you know, I work really hard. I work a lot. You know, that can't be me. And then I started to really think about, well, actually, I have a really hard time getting up in the morning. I'm really, really tired. And I feel more fatigued than other people. And I noticed that I can get a lot of work done really quickly while everyone else is doing busy work, lots of busy work, and hours of busy work. And I would always look at them and go, I wonder why they're doing all that busy work, right? Why are they doing that? And so it takes some time to kind of see where this energy is happening in your life. Okay. And so, and this is just one center I'm talking about, the sacral. This is in every single center. And so we're going to spend an entire week with the meditation in that area, in that center. And there's going to be deep questions, deep contemplation, deep energy work around each one. Okay. Now, generators and manifesting generators, go ahead and put in a G or an MG in the chat so we know. Does that sound like you, Lucille? Me too. Raise your hands. All right, GMG. GMG. Type it in the chat. G and MG. Okay. Did that sound right? Okay. G and MG. Now, here's the interesting thing about the G and the MG. So, you lied? You're a G? Okay. So over the last 400 years, okay, this is what we're going to discuss tomorrow in 2027, our 2027 bonus class, okay, is the last 400-year cycle, okay? During that last 400-year cycle, we were all conditioned to be manifestors. And manifestors, you were conditioned to be generators. So over this last 400-year cycle, though, the thing that worked was initiating action to make something happen. Okay, initiating action to make something happen. So that initiating action that worked for a small portion of the population, 8% of the manifestors who were not living as generators, were making things happen, were creating, all of the success. Where did this world manifestor come from? It is, they have been the leaders over the last 400-year cycle. And they have been the lone leaders, 8%, having results with this strategy. And yet, telling everyone that is the only thing that works. You got an idea, you got to make it happen. And if you aren't making it happen, there's something wrong with you. You didn't do enough meditation. You didn't do enough law of attraction work. You did not do something right. If you do not have results the way I'm telling you. Okay. That was the last 400-year cycle that is now changing. Woohoo! But you have to understand that generators for the last 400 years have been conditioned to take on this manifestation technique. And so all of you G's and all of you MGs have been pushing whatever it is that you want to create in your life and feeling like a failure when you're frustrated. And that is going to change. And it's going to change powerfully for all of you taking on this human design information. So, as we begin that process to let each type live as themselves, there's like a cracking open that happens, a flowering that begins to happen. And your life becomes so much more naturally attuned to what's underneath it all. Okay. And so this process is unmasking the life force frequency that is within you. So, for example, I am here to shock the awakening, shock the spiritual awakening, and be the leading edge force in business that leads people to invest in things that provide a positive life movement forward. This is my design. This is what I'm here to do. And there's nothing else I want to do except for that, which is really profound because projectors are here to be recognized and known for their circuitry. Okay. So they have to know who they are in order to even understand the right invitation. I get invitations all the time from people who love me that don't see me, that don't get me. And then when I follow that invitation, it's very unfulfilling for me. And it took me a while to understand how my circuitry operated and what was a correct invitation, but now I know. And yeah, sometimes do I go out with friends and family that don't recognize me? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you can feel the difference. You can feel it, and it's intense. So, I want to take a pause here for a minute. How many of you here are joining us tomorrow for the 2027 class? Just please let me know. Put 2027 in the comments. If you are wanting to come and you don't have the link for that and you want to join in, can you please put the comment, I want more information, so I know who to support in that. I want more information so I know how to support you. I want to, but yes, it will be recorded. Well, I usually say give me 24 to 48 hours for the recording. Okay, 24 to 48 hours. And then we will send it out to you, or it will go up on your membership site. Okay. So you want more information. Okay, Glenn, Andrea. So, and if you're listening to the recording, so Drea is on YouTube. So what I need you to do is what I'm going to have you guys do is to email me, because I can reach out to you if you're on Facebook, but on YouTube, you'll need to email my team at support@raquelreina.com. Okay. If you are, I want more information, not sure if I'm part of the class. Okay, Nikki, I can support you on that. I am also doing some phone calls for you guys that are still maybe confused and you don't know. I bought the Manifestation by Design, but what's this other class and how does all this fit together? Then I will definitely get on the phone with you and kind of help sort it out, Nikki. So if you need that. So everybody just grab the email. It's support@raquelreina.com. And Shelly says, I don't have the moment at the time. Look, here's the thing. I want to open up this space for you guys. Seriously, if you say yes, let there be a moment where you ask the universe to provide. I'm not saying it's going to happen for everyone, but it's always happened for me. When I get a yes, and I know deep down this is the direction I need to go, I need it for my career, my spirituality, my relationship. I know that I need something and it's right in front of me and I'm here. The universe has always provided everything that I've needed, because the universe is a generous, giving place. And it wants us to self-actualize. It wants us to grow. It wants us to have everything we need. Lack is literally the thing that is a mind construction. And in human design, they say that our truth is we are all here to live in full abundance as ourself. Now, does that mean we're all here to be billionaires? No. Or private jets? No. But you are all here to have what you need. And so the mind is often the thing that keeps us stuck in that, and also the fear that there's not enough, right? And so just for 1 minute, if you are getting the yes, just ask the universe to show you. I'm not saying I know how, but I am saying that I've seen it happen a lot. My certification, of course, gaining all of these courses, it was not cheap. I've invested thousands upon thousands of dollars for my certifications and my master's degree and all of this. And you guys know my story. As I was doing this and learning this, I was $100,000 in debt. And now it's 100% paid off. I have zero debt. And I refuse to go into debt too. You know, yes, I have credit cards and yes, you know, all of that, but I pay it off. And I've learned how to, you know, not take that process on. I've just shifted. And so, if you were to ask me how I was to leave my corporate career and almost lost my home by investing in a brick and mortar business that drained the life out of me, to be in a business now where I work a couple hours a day and it's replaced my corporate salary, and I'm with my partner who loves me and we have like the most beautiful life. Like, if you were to say, how did you do that? I would be like, I I can't tell you how many dark nights I had where I thought there's no way I could ever get to where I am now. It's the moment by moment courage to take those steps in the right direction where the universe steps in. Courageous, movement towards what's correct. And I'm telling you guys, once you know your human design, everything else, all the law of attraction, right? All the stuff, all the law of attraction stuff makes sense. The universe supports you. It does. Now, if you're feeling like, yes, 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 I want to do it, just reach out to me. Reach out to me. We've created payment plans that are really affordable, and let's see if we can support you in figuring out a way to make it happen. Why? Because I'm committed to supporting this transformation in people because it is that profound. It is that profound. I had people who were not making anything in their business started listening to their sacral, and it was like within a month. Now, granted, projectors, yes, it takes you a little bit longer. I have to admit, it does take a little bit longer, than other types. And so that's just, part of the process, right? To learn, like, okay, so it took me a little bit longer, but I still had everything provided for me in a way that I had no idea what it was. Okay. So I want to take a second. If you guys need me to support you in this journey and you want to get on a phone call, please make sure that you are emailing support@raquelreina.com. So let me go ahead and type that in one more time because I wasn't keeping up with the chat. And I will go back and check the chat for those of you who need that. But it'll help if you just email me, then my team can help set that up for you guys. Okay. So the 2027 mutation is basically the shifting of the wheel. And it's showing us what we're moving towards in 2027. Why does it take a projector longer? Because, okay. And that's exactly where I'm going next. I want you guys to enter in some questions, other questions that you have. So, projectors are the newest aura type on the planet, and we have been conditioned to live as generators. And so the unraveling of being and taking on, so I'm conditioned to believe I was a manifesting generator because I'm an undefined throat and undefined sacral. So first I had to unravel that. And then the projector needs to wait for recognition. Now, the recognition comes after we master systems. And sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to master systems than other types. And it doesn't take every projector the same amount of time. Sometimes people get recognized right out the gate. Sometimes, but that's just the nature of the energy, the projector energy. And so some of you had commented, oh, you like projectors more. And the truth is I don't like any type more. I love each type so much. I can't even express to you. The more I learn about each type, the more I see their unique beauty and just the way it all comes together. It's so profound. But projectors sometimes need a little bit more nurturing and a little more support and a little bit more TLC. And then I teach you guys how to do that for the projectors in your life. And trust me, they love you, and they love you so much when you recognize them. Like, you will have a client, a friend, a lover, a partner for life. It's like when Davidian recognized me, it was literally the first time I ever had a partner or someone I was dating recognize me. And I didn't even know what was missing. Like, they liked me, you know, I know they liked me, they loved me in the past, but they didn't recognize me, and I didn't understand that until now, of course. And the energy is so different, and I have energy to be with them and to grow and to have these profound experiences through that recognition. Okay. And so, projectors, don't worry, I'm going to help you through this process to help you understand. Now, remember, um, those of you who are, you know, ready to kind of take this experiment on just a little bit more, you know, it does take a little bit of a nurturing process, right? For every type. But yes, sometimes projectors a little more. What does it mean to inform after you get your yes? Okay, good question. So now you're talking for the MG. So the manifestor's strategy is to inform. Now, the reason the manifestor needs to inform is because there is a creative pulse running through the manifestor, and it is almost like this silent energy that is putting them in the zone. Okay, their aura is impactful, so they walk in the room, they're in this zone, and they're kind of like moving. And so what happens is their aura is saying, I'm about to make something happen, can you move out of my way? The aura is like pushing people out, but they're not slowing down to the point where they're voicing that, because they're thinking, oh, if I don't do this myself, then it's never going to get done, this kind of thing. And so they impact people in the wrong way. And when you impact people in the wrong way, the manifestation schisms. It doesn't get off to the right foot. So the strategy of informing is like, imagine a bulldozer coming through, you know, hey, get out of my way, I'm coming through and I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this happen. And so then it helps the people that you're going to impact to support you on that journey, which most people do. People love to support manifestors on that journey. Now, if you're an MG, you have a little bit of that because of the motorized throat. Okay, so if you're an MG, you have to wait to respond first. Okay, and then you get that energy of like, oh, okay, now I know what to do. And believe me, if you're an MG, you have a lot of things coming in at you that look really, really good. Most MGs do not want to niche out, even though that's the primary advice for all coaches. How to niche, you know, and why you need to niche. The niche is the rich, not for MGs, but MGs do need to know which direction to go to when. Okay, so they're waiting to respond. Of course, the sacral is different than the emotional. We went over that in the Big Vision Envision, and we're going to go so much deeper in the creative coaching certification program. But the idea is, once you get the yes, then whoever you're going to impact, you let them know, this is what I'm going to do. And then that manifesting energy starts to soothe out just a little bit as you are moving to make something happen. Okay, I'm going to actually start putting the questions up on the board. Okay, so let me see this one. Are certain types drawn to other certain types more than others? Yes, good question. Okay, we learn a lot about that in BG5, which is the Human Design Business course. And that really talks about, for example, which types should work together, which types will do amazing things as partners, which types actually are better in small groups. It's all in the chart. So, Tina, yes, it is explained, and we are going to go through all of that in the creative coaching certification, so you guys know how each type works together. You know, how does the MG work with the projector? And yes, really, really good question. Does our charts give us an idea who we would be compatible with? Yes. So there's also the compatibility chart, which is two people, the partnership. So the partnership charts do come together and show you the places where you're going to have friendship, you're going to have camaraderie. They're going to show you where you have compromises, which is the place in the chart where breakups happen. And so when you learn where you're compromised in the chart, wow, so seriously profound. It helps in every single relationship, whether it's a mother, a father, a sister, a daughter, a lover, partner, business partner. When you put those two charts together, you learn where the compromises happen. That would be a great bonus class for my level 1. So remind me, level 1, for the partnership bonus class. I love that. I love that question. Maybe if the same gates are the same, like same gate 26. Oh, it's very, very different than that. But yes, when you have a similar channel that's called companionship, so friendship, but when we put the two charts together, there's a lot of different dynamics. Okay, a lot of different dynamics. Okay. How do you know your guides? How do you know it's divine knowledge? Tara. That's a very profound and very deep question. Okay. So they do show this in human design, believe it or not. Okay. So in human design, not only do they show that in your, and we call it rave cosmology, we show you what your guide, who your guides are, and then what guides to rely on, but also in the dream realm. For those, I know at least one of you is here who's in the dream course. It shows you which dreams are divine information and which dreams are not. Like, it's, you guys, I cannot express to you the layers and the levels this goes. So yeah, Tara, a little too soon for that one. Good question though. Really good question. How can you know someone's circuitry if you don't know their birthday and time? Okay. So here's what I suggest. There are certain astrologers who can find the time. Now, I'm not someone who does that, and I don't know how to do it. Someone did give me a referral, and I don't remember where that is, but I can look it up for you. However, this is what I do. Okay, this is what I do. I did not know my birth time. I called the hospital. On my birth certificate, they don't give you the time. So what I did first is I asked my family. Everyone knew it was in the morning. My mom always said around 6:30. My sister confirmed she remembered it being in the morning before she went to school. So I asked around, so you know whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. Now I've run my chart morning, afternoon, and evening. I know when it changes. Okay. I'm a projector all day, unfortunately. Just joking. I love projectors. But I'm a projector all day. When I first found out I was a projector, I was like, oh, I'm definitely a manifester. So those times are wrong. I literally could not handle that I was a projector because I was so conditioned to believe I was a manifester. If anyone else is going through that in their chart, trust me, that's part of the process. So I ran it when I narrowed it down to morning. I ran it an hour before and at 6:30, an hour after. And then I started to narrow down what gates changed and when. And then as I went through my deconditioning process, it became very, very clear what was my truth. And my mom was accurate. She said around 6:30. So that's how I did it. There's a way to work around it. Okay. There's a way to work around it. Okay, so here's an interesting one. My design date is the actual birth date of my spiritual and literal best friend of 37 years. What the heck? I love that. How powerful is that? That's really interesting. Yeah. So the design is the life, the physical life. So it does make sense that you would have a connection to those dates. Yeah, really powerful. Every time you think you have it, something else amazing shows up. I know, Vicky, right? I mean, that's how it is for me. I'm just like, oh my God, here's another layer. And then I'm so bummed when I don't have another layer. Where's my next layer? And then sure enough, something new shows up. So what course could I take for compatibility romantically and in the workplace? Okay, so that's a great question, Annette. So absolutely the creative coaching course that we're starting, it will go through all of that in extreme detail, because the first thing that we learn in the compatibility chart, how to be in a relationship romantically, all of that is what is happening first and foremost with the centers. Okay. So when you have an undefined and a defined, those two things are operating in relationship really intensely. So when Davidian has an undefined spleen, I have a defined spleen. Those two things, the way those operate, show you everything about the relationship, how to enter a relationship correctly. That's also based on your costume, which is your profile, which is what we go over. So this course would absolutely 100% guide you on that. And because we have so many questions on that, I'm going to add the partnership as well. So you really have to know first things first, how these two things come together. And then when you put a chart together, and already many of you have asked me to kind of look at family and kids and all of that. And believe me, we'll go through all of that in this course. So this course will absolutely cover that for you. Yeah, for sure. I was so upset when I learned I was an emotional generator, especially the emotional part. I love if you guys read the last bonus with Crystal when she was sharing her journey, and she was like, if you would have told me that I was emotional, I would have not believed you at all. And I'm the exact opposite. If you would have told me I'm unemotional, I'm not emotional, I would have been like, no frigging way. I'm the most emotional person that there is. And that just goes to show you that we don't know who we are. And I'm talking about after a frigging decade of therapy. So this stuff unravels you so powerfully. I get it. I'm going through that right now. I can't believe I'm a projector. It's like I want to say send help, but I can only help myself. Exactly. I know. It's totally funny, right? Tara, same Vicky, but made total sense also. Yep. I wonder if that could be a twin flame thing. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting, wouldn't it be fun to kind of look up everybody's twin flames and their charts and how those all correlate? I've been recently, I don't know why, but sometimes I get obsessed with things like different psychology, and I was thinking about the cult psychology and why people get inducted into cults. And I was listening to a podcast, and I was thinking, I bet you if you ran everybody's chart in a cult, you would see that most people have more tribal circuitry than anything else, because they're going to be more susceptible to tribal law. If you have a lot of mutants, they're going to be less, because in the cult environment, they're always like, anyone's susceptible, anyone's vulnerable. And the truth is that is true. But individuals are going to be less susceptible. So I don't know. There's so many things we could discover. Where in the charts do you find the profile numbers? For example, the 2-4. Okay, so it's the sun and the earth on the black side, the conscious side, and then the sun and the earth on the unconscious side. And looks like the decimal point. So the decimal point on the black side is the first number. So if there's a 2 there, then you'd be a 2, 4, right? Okay. Let's see. I'm seeing if I have any other questions. Yeah, Tara, you wouldn't know how to find it yet, but tomorrow's class, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about that. So, and really, really honestly, anything I mentioned that's really advanced, just let it brush off you for a little bit, because it does. I'm doing foundational piece and advanced questions all at once. Please trust me that you are going to figure this out from the beginning. I'm really good at breaking it down. So if you're feeling like, oh my God, I don't understand this, don't worry about it. I promise you. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to go through it. Okay, I'm trying, you guys, I'm trying. If you have a question that I didn't answer, go ahead and retype it. I'm going to try and pick the best ones, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Davidian mentioned I was a mutant. What is that? If you can sum it up. So are you going to be in tomorrow's class? Because I really want to save that till tomorrow. It's really, that's the theme of tomorrow's class. So if you want to know that question, I'm going to ask you to send me an email. If you're not already registered for tomorrow's class, then I will assist you in, looks like there's something on registering for that. Okay. Cause I want to talk about that is a perfect question for the 2027 mutation and the era that we're moving into. So I'm not going to answer the question on the twin flame because I just don't know enough about it. I haven't done enough research on it. So, but it's a good question for future stuff. If you're trying to find someone that you would work well with, you would need to ask them for their birth date and time. If they don't know about HD, they might wonder why you want to know. Oh, I see. So that happened in the corporate environment when I was doing more business human design, BG5. That's what they do. And so you do have to try and normalize asking for the birth data. And yeah, some people will not give it to you. And so I think because of astrology, it is more normalized depending on the environment. And I know in the corporate setting, we did a lot of personal assessment tools, and that was more accepted. But I have been invited in to work with many businesses, and I've worked with, the high level CEO and companies and corporations, and they've asked for all of their employees' information so we can run all of their BG5 charts. So it does happen, but you're right. Some people aren't that into it. So it's really going to be, what can you do? What does this stuff mean at the bottom of the paper? I don't know what you're referring. I'm going to skip that one. So with numbers not being my thing ever, can I still just really be able to get the essence of everything? Yes. Oh my God. Numbers are not my thing. Numbers are not my thing. Don't worry about the numbers. This is energy, and I promise you're going to get it. It's going to be so simple. I'm going to break it down for you. Yeah, you will get it. You will get it. Good, because I don't understand the design and personal numbers and all that. Yeah, so everything is going to get broken down. So at the baseline, Nikki, I'm going to go through it very simply for you guys. It's going to be very, very like step by step, and you're going to get the most simple processes through this stuff. And I promise you right now, your mind is thinking, how am I going to know all this? I felt the exact same way. There was no way I thought I could understand all of this stuff. And so that's why I'm good at breaking it down for simply, because I don't know how the information came through all of a sudden. One day I just understood it all. And it wasn't through the intellect, and it wasn't through logic, because I have no logic in my chart. I was wondering what a few of the things meant at the bottom of the, so yeah, the bottom of the So, but see, the thing is, Carol, with that question is every software has the bottom differently. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Annette, yes, please, to sign up for the class. Yay! Awesome, Annette. We'd love to have you. Okay. So let me give you, I think the best way for that, Annette, is to email me, and then we can get you signed up for the class. Okay, so you guys have my email. Sometimes, though, it gets lost in the chat. Okay. So I'm going to put it in again. Oh, okay. So, okay. How long will the class be and when will it start? Okay. So the class is going to be 4 months. Tomorrow's the first bonus. It's every week on Tuesday at 3:30. And it's a step-by-step process, super profound, really fun. And we're going to go through basically pretty much everybody, all the questions you guys had, all the deconditioning process. It's going to be amazing. I'm kind of late, but I'm still trying. No worries. We're glad you're here. What is it mean, BG5? Okay, great question, Teresa. It stands for Base Group 5. And really, it's the business part of human design. And a lot of people, you'll see a lot of misinformation out there on human design business. I see a lot of people who know human design and they go through the business channels like the 2644, the 5432. The BG5 is very different. And it was really important for me to understand it because I wanted to have a business as a projector. And most of my teachers were just teaching business. They weren't teaching the BG5. Okay. And so I did the full, every level of the BG5 certification. And I think that there's really, of all of that year-long program, there's a few key pieces that I think are important. And I'm not joking. And I bring those into the class. So you guys, when you work with me and you get certified and you do my foundation program, you also get that entire piece kind of infiltrated as we go through the class. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single detail of that, but the most important key points that I think you need to know, I teach you throughout my certification. And I'll tell you why. Because as I said, so many people, once they start learning to read charts or they already are coaches, they want to bring the business to their lives. They want to know how to run a business. They want to know what worked in their business, why it's not working. And so I like to add that piece to it. Okay. Okay, so I did answer this question. What's the duration, the time for each course? So we start at 3:30. So this is about the time frame, but it'll be about 90 minutes. Okay, it'll be about 90 minutes. So if you guys have specific questions, Tina, can you email me at the support@raquelreina.com? If you guys have questions about manifestation by design and which course is which, then yes, email me and I'll go through it with you. Will this help my business scale? Yes, 100%. 100%. I mean, I cannot tell you how, okay, I took hundreds of thousands, maybe hundreds, not that, tens of thousands of dollars in advanced business courses before I found out I was a projector. Okay. And I learned every techie thing, Facebook ads, launching, all the stuff. And nothing worked for me. And if you guys listen to my latest YouTube video with Ardelia, she's talking about the same thing happened to her. She was doing a launch. She did all the things. She worked diligently, and her coach was wise enough to say, if I would have done what you did, I would have had a $100,000 launch. And she had 0 results. And the coach was wise enough to say, I don't know enough about human design, but I know you're a projector. And so I would suggest you look into that. So thank you, all you wise coaches, that if you don't know it, at least you tell people so they don't think there's anything wrong with them. Okay. Excuse me. So scaling business, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Now, am I going to go into business tools? Let's put it like this. I over deliver to all my clients. Thank you, Annette. I over deliver to my clients. I have a course on YouTube. I have a course on Facebook ads. All of these things I have done because I thought that's what we needed. And so if I have somebody in my certification that wants videos on how to scale, literally like what is the exact thing on the digital product to create a YouTube channel, I give you the videos that I have. But you really can't use them until you know your design. It won't help. You could study every single thing available out there, but until you know your design, none of that stuff works. So, Shelly, it would absolutely help you. Absolutely. Okay. Will these courses be on Facebook Live or Zoom? It's on Zoom. Yeah, so the classes will be on Zoom. And only Zoom. So once we start the classes, I really create a sacred space for you guys to share. I really get to know your charts. I go through every single person's chart personally. And we understand each person's chart. You guys will get, if you want, an accountability partner for the creative coaching certification. And so we really try and help you learn your chart step by step. You're a projector too? Yeah, it's huge, 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 huge. Oh, Kelly, I love you. Thank you so much. And I think actually with that, I'm going to wrap up for today. It's 4:44 on my computer. So it's a perfect timing. So thank you guys so much for being here. Again, if you don't come through this next course with us, we still freaking love you. We're still honored to have you part of our community. Your participation means the world to us. You being here and taking this on is really so powerful. Let's see. To get the class, I would have to email you. Yeah, and Annette, definitely email us right now at support. Thank you. I will email you. Okay, so a couple people still need just to make sure you guys have it. It's just easier because I can reach out via Facebook, but it's a little harder. So the cost, let me have a phone call with you, Annette, to go over it with you. Okay, because I make it really affordable. And I give you different options. So let me get on the phone with you and kind of help you out on that one. Love and light. Love and light. All right. So hope to talk to you guys this week. And those of you coming tomorrow, I can't wait to see you. So Annette, let's jump on the call and we'll go over it. And I'll make sure that we like to really make sure that you guys get a payment plan that you can afford. Okay, so we have different options for you. Thank you so much, Trisha, for being here live. Again, you guys are amazing. Don't worry if you can't join us in the course. I will still be here. I will still be any scholarships. So Carol, go ahead and email me. We haven't given out a scholarship in a while. Sometimes if someone is in a really, really dire situation, I bring it to my team. But we haven't been, and the reason why is because people commit less. And usually when we believe in your abundance, the abundance shows up for you. So if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is a yes, if you just tell the universe, yes, this is for me, this is what I need, usually the universe shows you ways to make it happen. So, and then you shift your frequency into I have everything I need, the universe provides, rather than I don't have enough, I need, so there's an energetic there. And believe me, it really works. I mean, I can't tell you. I almost lost everything. If you guys don't know my whole story, I literally had invested my entire life savings, and my accountant said I was going to lose it all. I just held, and the universe just kind of somehow navigated me through, gave me what I need for all of my, to learn this stuff. So then I could slowly start integrating it, and all, you guys, completely 100%, I'm debt free now. And my business makes more than my corporate salary. It's possible. If I can do it as a projector, so can you, whatever your type is. So I know and I believe in you guys if you're getting a yes. Okay. So excited to share this journey with you guys. And again, thank you all for your participation in this incredible 4-day challenge. It was so good. It was so fun for us. And keep, if you can't do the course and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel. Davidian and I have videos there a lot. Subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I'm always putting posts up there. And be my friend on Facebook. I'm looking for people who like my material and want to hear my key points. And I'm always going to be bringing information forward for you guys, because this is my service to my community as well. And of course, I'd like to, for the hands-on people who want to go deep into their personal chart and get coaching and all of that. Obviously, that's an important piece to our business. Yeah. I appreciate your projector, because I am also, so I feel so much more comfortable with that. I had to learn, my first human design teacher was an MG, and I had to relearn from a projector. Not that she wasn't great, she didn't have great information, but no matter what, MGs, it's harder for them to fully understand the plight. Now, a lot of them do, but this particular one had a harder time understanding. And so projectors are actually here to guide the other types too. So we actually can see what generators and manifesting generators and manifestors need. And if you didn't hear the end of my story with 2027, the projectors are moving into the leadership role. So projectors, this is really important for you. You're moving into the leadership role, and all the other types have to learn how to recognize the projector so they know how to get the leader and the guidance they need so that they can properly use their energy forward. And the beautiful thing is we need each other's. With projectors can't do it without generators. Generators can't do it without projectors. Really powerful stuff, right? So Carol, I'll look forward to seeing your email. Annette, I'll look forward to seeing your email. Shelly, I'll see you tomorrow. Sandy, I'll see you tomorrow. Cynthia, I'll see you tomorrow, right? All right, you guys. I love you guys so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow and in the Facebook group. Bye for now, everybody.